Episode 161. Welcome into the Bench is Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants.
And I'm Dave, representing the side of the Los Angeles World Champion Dodgers, who got yet another award today, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, let's get all of like your accolades just out of the way, because at some point this offseason we just gotta we're done talking about it. So the faster we just get it over with. I mean, who cares about MVP? Does MVPs even count anymore?
Sure. When they're for your team?
I feel like I'm more interested in who placed sixth for Cy Young.
Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there to the
we'll get there.
But congratulations to world champion Shohei Ohtani, unanimously winning the NL MVP. I didn't know if it was going to be unanimous. Obviously, he was amazing, and the numbers backed it. But I'm like, maybe somebody will give a vote to Lindor, but they didn't.
And I feel like unanimous should be a little more common than it is, because there's a lot of times where people do that, where it's like, well, that's always like in this case of like a New York writer that's like, well, you just don't understand what Lindor did for the city. It's like, yeah, we understand sports, we understand the way things work. That's why we're all here. So you should just be unbiased and just, I mean, yeah, when numbers are close and there's different variables, I get it. But there's a lot more slam dunk, ones than are represented in unanimous.
You know what I think they should stop doing, though, is having both candidates on the air live when they're going to announce it. Because, one guy probably already knows, hey, you're not getting it, and you're still on camera. I don't want to be on TV. Just be like Judge. I don't care.
Yeah, how unbothered. I mean, I'm not sure if I don't want to just move on from what you were saying, because I understand, I don't know if you want to just gawk over Shohei a little more, but how unbothered did Paul Skeens, how he acted? It almost was like, dude, take it away from him. He doesn't even care.
Yeah, and it's funny because all the San Diego fans were up in arms and going crazy because, the Jackson Merrill, and, rightly so. I thought Merrill was going to win it too, but Skeens is the media darling, and I mean, what he did was amazing in his own right, but I thought the everyday player might have taken it. But yeah, he was so unbothered by it. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
It's cool. I do cool shit. Yeah, I would give it to Jackson Merrill just because of the everyday thing. I think it's more impressive. The fact that he only had, I think he barely scratched 100 innings. I want to say it was 117. I think that's a little disheartening, but I mean, you can't. I mean, he was also in Cy Young conversations, so and pretty deserved so. I don't think that there was anything that that really. From 3 to 4, I don't think it was that crazy. So, I don't mind it. You could go either way, I feel like.
And it's pretty cool to have these conversations, because it means the game's in a good spot when you're arguing about two of the top rookies that are pretty amazing. Had a huge impact right away.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a San Diego Padre fan, I think I'd be a little more upset. I do wish I wish Tyler Fitzgerald would have kind of stayed hot and kind of been in that conversation of being third or fourth, but Churio and Shota Imanaga deserved it. So what can you do? But I mean, the coveted sixth in the Cy Young vote, Logan Webb. I mean, that's the thing that everyone goes for. So we could talk about that for 3 hours if you want. It can just be a whole episode about Logan Webb.
He targeted the sixth spot. He locked in and he got it, man. Congrats to him. He got it done. Congrats to him.
And honestly, I mean, this might sound really stupid, but it's I don't know, dude. I think that they're wasting Logan Webb's potential right now, and they need to either shit or get off the pot or do. I don't know what's going on, but it's almost like if they're planning on doing this teeter situation, they should just trade Logan Webb.
I was just about to ask you that.
Like
I was
fucking
about to ask.
just trade them, dude, and then get something back and then just rebuild if you're gonna do that. But if not, fucking go, dude.
So if they miss
Do
out
some
on
stuff.
Soto or any of the top guys, you're okay
They're
with
never
trading
gonna.
him?
Well, I mean, define top guys. Like if they sign and they secure a solid shortstop either by trade or, and they let the kid if they're even like, hey, we're really going for 2026. Yeah, you don't trade Logan Webb, but I don't know if they're going to do a whole rebuild. I think you do. I think you should do something to bring some legitimate pieces back. But I don't think they'll ever do that. And I hope that means that maybe they take a year off and they're just like, hey, we'll sign maybe one or two guys to longer term deals to go for 2026. Let's let Matos play. Let's let Fitzgerald play every day at second base. Let's see what Helio Ramos is about. Let's try to get Bryce Eldridge up as soon as possible and just leave him the hell alone. Let's see what Marco Luciano's got. See if we can get him some at bats, and then like see where you're at. Then I'm fine with that too. But seeming like with the hiring of, I'm not sure if did we talk about Bobby Evans being a special advisor getting hired last week? Did that happen? So Bobby Evans, former Giants GM, got hired as a special assistant, and so I mean it's just a special advisory role, so there's nothing really that much to look into. It is weird they keep on just going back in time, but Posey made it really clear that they really want to focus on pitching and defense, and that's going to be their identity. That's going to be a thing. So that means they need to sign either of Blake Snell or Corbin Burns or Max Fried, and they need to go full in on pitching. And they can have, honestly, with what they have right now, if they add a good defensive shortstop, they can have one of, if not the best defensive teams in baseball. If you put Heliot Ramos in left field and you put like Grant McCray in right field and Jung Hooley in center, would have an amazing defensive outfield. If you have a legitimately good defensive shortstop, if they pick one up, that's the only thing that they said they really need is a legitimate shortstop. Then you got Tyler Fitzgerald, who can be a good second baseman. Obviously, Matt Chapman's an amazing third baseman. Not sure what they're going to do at first base, but then Gold Glover at behind the plate. I don't know. Maybe that's just their thing, and just hope they can score runs. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see.
I mean, we're jumping all over the place. I'm sorry, we went way off on tangents, but
we'll talk about our targets when we get there. But yeah,
right, 100%. But so I mean,
the awards, yes, we both believe that Jackson Merrill should have.
Yeah, won. I think so. I think by a little, it doesn't bug me though.
Yeah, no, I think they were both amazing talents. You can't go wrong. You can't be mad. But unless you're a San Diego Padre fan,
I think, and then be mad. I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
And does it should you be even more upset? I mean, do you want to talk more about awards? Or am I good to segue into the next segment, Dave? Is there anything else you want to talk about awards?
Not really, man. Just an amazing to cap off an amazing season for Shohei, an amazing season as a Dodger. Congrats, man.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, this first season we're gonna get a lot more of it. I mean, that's like the dream scenario when you first sign a 10-year contract that you win MVP and you win the World Series. So Shohei's a real asshole for that, and I will never forgive you. But back to the Padres being sad.
What just happened?
I think I just unplugged my my microphone on accident by fucking with it.
I was like, wait, what?
Where are we at? 9 minutes? All right, I just got to make sure.
Yeah, it was like 9:11 or 9 something.
Wow, you had to go there. That's crazy. Unbelievable. All right, I'll make sure to edit that out really quick. All right, we'll just go from the Padres being sad boy.
Yeah.
And if you're the Padres, I mean, if you can just deal with getting screwed over for Rookie of the Year, and then now you just have to hear Mookie Betts and the Dodgers talk so much shit about how you suck and you didn't win a ring. How do you feel if you're in San Diego?
Are you asking me? Asking the fans?
Yeah, well, you got. I mean, out of me and you, I think you got more of a finger on the pulse of how the Padre fans feel because they talk a lot of shit to you. So,
well, I have a couple of Padre fans that are friends, that tell me, whatever, they're cool. It said they kind of say it hurts more to hear this. They're like we knew we were good. Like, see, we knew we were good.
right.
Like, we choked it away, whatever it is, and they're like, it kind of hurts to hear them give us props much more than them just talking regular shit.
Right.
So, and I kind of understand it because you felt like they were the most complete team, and after them, everybody else seemed like they were a notch below. And yeah, so to go 24 innings, whatever it was, and yeah, of course they're gonna feel a certain way. So yeah, it does suck that they're being so nice to them, but I think they're being kind of fu kind of way. I don't know. I think it's funny.
Yeah, especially because it's not just from one guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Mookie Betts said it. Dave Roberts said it. That was, which is kind of funny. Everyone that played the Dodgers, that was their World Series, and a lot of Dodger fans, every single time they bring up, 2022 or yeah, it's 2022, right? When the Padres beat them. That was their World Series. It was their World Series. It's funny to hear like, oh, that part was our World Series. That was the best. That was the matchup. When you won that one, you were pretty much coasting at that point. It's kind of funny.
Well, listen, there were Padres fans crying tears of joy when they beat us. Like, you're not going to sit there and tell me that didn't mean more to them than just any other series.
Well, I mean, it's advancing. I don't know how
they finally beat Big Brother. They slayed the dragon. All whatever you want to call all these things that everybody said. Of course, they meant more to them. Of course, it was like huge. They're never gonna forget that. It's for now, it's nothing's gonna top that until they finally get a World Series. And even then, who knows? They might put them on par because they hate the Dodgers that much. So I don't know.
Well, I guess it would be better to be in Padres land than it is to be in Yankee land when all the Dodger players are literally like laughing at you. So you could say that it hurts more, but at the same time, when you do make it to the World Series and it feels like, you were just playing without the controller plugged in because, no one thinks, everyone thinks you suck. I don't know what other analogy to use, but like almost like you think that you're winning, you think that you're in it, and then it's like, all right, I'm actually going to play now, and then you get lapped. It's
and
that's probably going to hurt a little more.
And they're like, we're just laughing at the fact that we predicted you were going to do something, you were going to shoot yourself in the foot, and you went on and shot yourself in the foot. So like, we were right.
Game 1 and in Game 5, right?
Yeah, but the funniest part is like it's the bench player saying this. First, Joe Kelly, who wasn't even on the roster at the time, what came out like guns a-blazing, man. Oh. Anybody who would listen, he was just like,
yeah, I think Joe Kelly just hates the Yankees, though. That's probably part of it.
It was really fun to hear. And then you had Chris Taylor saying the same thing on that pod. So I'm like, all right, like, it's not Freddie saying this, it's like the other guys, and it's just funny because you can't really say anything. They're not really saying like, hey, you suck. You're like, we just knew you were gonna shoot yourself in the foot, and then you did it. So
the question that America wants to know is: would you rather be a Padres fan and hearing that, or would you rather be a Yankees fan and hearing that? And death is not an option.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd rather be a Yankees fan.
Really? I would rather be the Padres. Like, at least you feel like if you would have won, you would have won all the way. Like, you knew your team was good, and you have confidence going the next year.
Listen, if you someone you consider the rival, so say a Dodger fan is consoling you, it must have been bad. You know what I mean? So yeah. if who you consider your rival is consoling you, you must assume that it was bad. And it was for them. It was so crushing, whatever. So yeah, I'd rather be the Yankees. Like, it was a comedy of errors, but I don't know, it was already 3-1, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Makes sense. It's just I don't know. I feel like you got to be out of your mind. Either way.
Yeah, of
But
course.
but speaking of
Nights.
people that are out of their minds, how many teams do you think saw Alex Bregman ask for $350 million and laughed?
All of them?
He wants to beat Manny Machado, but it's like when you are not nearly as good as Manny Machado, I think you can't ask for Manny Machado money.
Yeah, dude. I don't understand that logic. I know he's a Boris dude, but like that doesn't automatically mean you're gonna get the money.
Yeah, dude. If I mean, trust me, if Jeff Passan tweeted right now, Giants signed Alex Bregman, I'd be excited. He's a very good player, you know, especially if he's down to play second base. You find room for a guy like Alex Bregman. But you don't pay him. You know, I guess it's not in a way. It's not my money. So, but at the same time, it's like fuck for 11 years and he's 31. I don't know, dude.
I don't think
I don't want a 40-year-old Alex Bregman in the DH role when he can't even hit 15 home runs with the Crawford boxes.
well, he's not a guy that can carry you.
Eh.
And he wants to get paid like that guy. He wants to be the guy. Manny Machado can still carry, like you saw what a year or 2 years ago, he can still carry you. He can still
You're
carry
not
a
that
team.
guy, pal.
And I don't think Alex Bregman is that guy.
No.
I think he's a very good player, but I think he's a complimentary player at this point.
Yes, I would imagine him more in the Matt Chapman type money.
Yeah, a tier below the other guys, I would say.
And honestly, I mean, we would have to really look at numbers and really have some thoughts about who you would rather have, Matt Chapman or Alex Bregman, because I think it's a lot closer than we think. Matt Chapman has more power and is a way better defender. You know, but Alex Bregman's more consistent and he's a good defender. So I'm not trying to say he's shit or anything, but
and he can
Matt Chapman's a league of their own.
Who knows? Maybe his numbers change because he could change positions. He said he'd go to second base.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, putting him at second, I think that puts him in like probably one of the best second basemen in baseball. So, but he's also not one of the best hitters in baseball where he can carry a lineup. So I think that is, you got to be on some type of Antelope Valley meth to think that you're going to, some Lancaster meth to think that you're going to get $350 million.
He should look at a cautionary tale in his ex-teammate in Correa. He thought he was going to get the same money everywhere, and he didn't have the offers.
Yeah, dude, Correa didn't get. I mean, technically, he did get 350 from the Giants, but Correa was 27 at the time. So, and Alex Bergman, I believe, was 30 or 31. I'm pretty sure it was 30. I saw 31, but it could be 30. So, yeah, the answer would be no for me.
I just don't see who would do that.
Cotton. Yeah, I don't see it either. I think he's more. I think he's gonna be pushing 200 million at best. I think he's gonna be. I think what Matt Chapman was 6 years, 180 or something like that. I think he's going to be close to that. I think a team might give him 6 years, 180, maybe even 190, maybe. But
yeah. I don't think he gets to the other number either. So
you're insane. Yeah,
we'll see. We could be eating crow, so we'll see. Who knows? Maybe he's right.
Oh my gosh. We would roast that other team who paid that like I don't know. That would be a whole segment. But we got some lists. It's off-season time. I think this is the perfect time for lists. And we're just gonna keep going. Maybe we'll just do a list every single pod until I'm not sure that'd be a lot of lists. I'm not sure if we can commit to that, but who knows? Maybe we will, maybe we won't.
We'll just come up with different lists, man. It doesn't matter. We'll be here.
And we're gonna waste 2 on this episode because we're doing 2 lists. But let's talk, since we're nothing has happened off season wise. I think it's time for us to maybe put our GM hats on and maybe we just start this whole thing and we make a deal.
All right.
So we're gonna do 5 each. I will start first. Because I don't know. I'm here and I'm a guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go kind of low, and I'm trying to do things that are obviously that they've been in trade talks. We obviously can't be trading for someone that's we can't be trading for Shohei Ohtani here.
You could. We just need to know what your offer is.
A bag of Skittles, because that's all we got.
All right.
No, I'm gonna go. I think the Diamondbacks really want to get rid of Jordan Montgomery. I think the Giants need someone who is you can pencil in for 150 to 180 innings, something to prove, a ground ball guy. Probably not going to cost you much in prospects, and they're probably going to take some money from him. I got to go Jordan Montgomery, postseason guy, very good career, but had a bad year last year. Didn't have a spring training. I think you put him in Oracle Park in that big ballpark with some good infielders and an outfield that can go and catch that ball. I think Jordan Montgomery becomes a pretty solid pickup. So Jordan Montgomery, come on down.
Okay, so I got a pitcher that I'd like for them to trade.
Okay.
But I do like the guys that are on the board. So if for some reason the guys on the board are taking off, the price is too high, I would love for them to get Garrett Crochet from the White Sox. They already tried before. So, they've already talked. Yeah, he'd be perfect. He's a young lefty. The rotation doesn't have a lefty, and he's a power lefty. We've seen how filthy he is, and he's young. So, yeah, you trade for him, and you're pretty golden there.
Do you think he still has the stipulations are probably off the table then, right? You would think for him?
I think it's kind of like the Glasnow deal. That kind of thing where like they trade for him and right away they announce an extension or whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this would be the time to kind of where you throw your hat in the ring of risk and reward. Is his arm going to fall off or is he only going to get better? Maybe that because he has inexperience, you don't have to pay him more than $20 million a year. You can kind of keep it more like 18 or low 20s, so you won't have to go to the 30s.
Yeah.
So yeah, makes sense. They were in trade talks. It could happen.
I mean, I think he's going to be coveted by a lot of teams. So, but I do think he gets traded before the season starts.
Yeah, and Dodgers always have that stigma to them that they always have the best farm system. And so they'll have some highly touted guys that could probably get it done. So I think I'm going to go with my first shortstop on the list, who was kind of rumored. It's a buy low candidate, which kind of makes me feel like it's most likely not going to happen. Got to see what the Blue Jays are going to decide to do. But I think Bo Bichette's got to be up there. They need to lock down that shortstop position, someone who can catch the ball. I know Bo Bichette had a bad defensive year last year, but usually he's good. If you got some guys who could probably hit some home runs, you're looking at Matt Chapman, but there's not a lot of consistency there. Bo Bichette will be your consistency guy. He always hits for close to 300. Obviously, minus last year, bad year, could be injuries. Who knows? Turn around in San Francisco. Bo Bichette, come on down.
All right. That would have been one of my targets too, but I don't think they're going to go that route. I think with Edman and Rojas, they'll be good, but that's a good one. I'm going to go with a veteran righty who I think might be on the market too, Sonny Gray. I think it's perfect. He's consistent. He's always there. I think he'd be pretty good. He's been pretty good everywhere but New York since New York. He's been pretty good everywhere. So he's a solid, maybe middle of the rotation kind of pitcher. I don't think he's an ace at this point, but
yeah, I guess you got to I think he's the ace for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
If you put him on, I think either of our teams, he would at least be a 2 or 3.
Yeah. And, Kershaw's not going to be ready. Ohtani's not going to be ready. So
you need someone who's going to show up.
Exactly. So that'd be a perfect candidate there.
Yeah, and I think the reports came out that he does not want to be traded. But I think that a lot of players, it's coming out that the Dodgers have one of those, or probably the only team who have the perception of they have an automatic ticket to the postseason. So I think some guys are well, I'm not going to go anywhere. For the Dodgers because I know I'm going to be in the postseason. All right, let's do it. So I think a team like that could probably get him, maybe get him changing his mind. Um, man, I have 6 players here, and I do not know. You know what? I know who to take off. Honorary mention, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I would really want him, but I think he's going to cost a lot. So I think that might be a little high hopes. Who I am going to go with is a different first baseman. You want a guy who can, maybe this might be a buy low candidate. This team trades everybody. Yandy Diaz. I think
nice.
Yandy Diaz is going to be a guy. I mean, you don't have to bank on him. You got Bryce Eldridge in the wings. But this guy, I mean, he had an amazing 2023. So I think that you can put him there, maybe give him some DH time if Bryce Eldridge comes up. You could probably even flip him, after next year, because I think he signed through 2026 and even a player option for 2027, if I read correctly. So, or no, wait, he has a player option for 2026, I think is what I saw. So, man, and then you can even cut ties with him if you don't want. He has no buyout, is what I read. So, or if he does good for your team, $12 million for one more year, I think it's definitely possible. Plus, the Rays always ask for like the weirdest guys, but they end up being very good for their team anyways, which is kind of weird. But yes, Yandy Diaz, come on, come give us some offense. We need a little offense.
All right. Okay, I'm going to stay with pitching too. I'm going to go with Sonny Gray's teammate, Ryan Halsey.
Oh.
He's in his last year of art.
You're going Arenado.
So, they're cheap. So this would be a perfect time to sell, and then, make him your closer, and he's filthy, man. So especially if you lose Blake Trinan, you need somebody back there, and this guy's perfect. Kind of just takes up that spot of being the same kind of filthy pitcher.
Right.
But it will be costly. It's not like, it won't be cheap, but I think it's worth.
Right.
So, yeah, Ryan Halsey.
Yeah, I think which is kind of crazy which is obviously good for the pod is like, I think we both need a lot of different things, so we don't have to talk about the same dudes, which is nice. But yeah, I think with missing Blake Trinan, you do need you guys don't even technically have like a closer. I mean, Michael Kopech is probably the closest thing for your closer, but you don't even have to put him there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, they used that was their style last year, was just anybody who was go up until the end, where Trinan kind of just became the closer.
Right. So yeah, it makes sense. I think the Giants are good on relievers, so we don't have to really. I mean, yeah, of course, it'd be great to have another good reliever, but I don't think they're in the market or have the prospects to deal for a good relief arms. I think if anything, you need to use those prospects for
another bat.
But I'm bouncing around on my list, so I'm deciding what I want to do. I already talked about Bichette and Montgomery and Yandy Diaz. Definitely want to leave that guy for last. So I'm going to go. I think if they're going to concentrate on pitching and defense, like I said, they need a guy that's going to give them innings. And this guy's been out all year for Tommy John, and he's coming back. And this was former Cy Young winner, Sandy Alcantara. I don't know how motivated they will be to move him, just because it's going to be buy low. So you would either have to pay for the high price, or they're just going to keep him. But gosh, Marlins they can also look at it as like, hey, what if he comes back and sucks, and then we have to eat all that money, and when we can, we might get less from it at the trade deadline, whatever. This guy's a ground ball guy, big ballpark. I mean, the reasons to come to Oracle for pitchers is endless, especially when you got a guy named Matt Chapman playing third base for you, and you're a ground ball pitcher. So, Sandy Alcantara, I think he's definitely a bounce back candidate, and I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't like him on their team. So, come on now.
I would say that's not going to happen, but then it is the Marlins, and they did let go of Skip, so anything can happen, I guess, with that franchise.
They just need a rebuild. They need a legit, solid rebuild. And why not start it by giving us Sandy Alcantara? So
yeah, they're just gonna give them to you. Sure.
Yeah, just give it just for free.
I'm gonna go with somebody staying in pitching again because we do need the pitching.
Right.
Somebody who's a closer, another closer who's really good. Over in Milwaukee, who they didn't want to pay. So what was it, like a couple bucks that they were haggling over?
Right.
Devin Williams, dude. So I don't know.
Insane.
I don't know what it would take to get him, but I mean, those guys are cheap. They just showed you how cheap they are. Of course, they're going to try to shave money. So he's definitely on the market. So go ahead and get yourself a closer. If Trent doesn't come back again, you need one, and there it is. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a dude that if you get like that is you're for sure closer. You're like that's team defining closer. That's like when you look that he's coming in, that's like game effing over. Just might as well start packing up now.
Which is crazy to think that they had both him and Hader at one point.
Right.
How filthy is that? One from one side and the other one from the other. Just crazy.
Last guy. So I saw this in an article and I didn't realize that the Twins were for sale. So they're going to be trying to shed some payroll. And I think that you bring the Giants legend home, Carlos Correa. I think his deal is an actual deal. What's so funny? His deal is an actual deal.
Carlos Correa legend? I mean, Giants legend?
Giants legend. Whole 7 minutes. Oh, no, 7 days. We had him for like 7 days. A whole 7 days he was a Giant.
What an amazing tenure he had as a Giant.
It was amazing.
Just
so his actual deal right now is 6 years. So he's 2 years into it, and then he has another 4 years going. And if he doesn't meet inning quotas, then you could drop him. He's gone. So you're not even locked into, this guy for 10. I think he ended up signing like 10 years. Was with the total of the contract, but it was 6 years guaranteed. So in a way, this is a steal for a contract for a guy who always has an OPS, in the high 8s, the 9s. I mean, there's only 2 seasons here, which 2020 I don't think you can really count. Only 2023 he had a really bad year. Everywhere else he's in the 8s and the 9s in OPS. Going to give you great defense and shortstop. That's really going to solidify that position. Man, and think about the boos he would get at a Dodger Stadium in a Giants uniform. So, man, I think Carlos Correa is the guy. I think he needs to do it. Come on, Posey, bring him home.
I mean, but if he just sucks the whole time, they're just gonna be like they're not gonna care anymore.
Yes, they will. They 100% will. They 100% will. Yeah. But I mean, he didn't play that much last year. He played 90 games, but he still had an OPS plus of 150 at a 900 OPS. Like, I don't know, man. He hasn't hit a lot of home runs, but he's a bat. And if you put him there at shortstop, proven guy, and you're gonna get, what is it? He's gonna be his 30. It's gonna be his year 30 season. So out of those 4 years, you're getting probably like 2 years still of his prime, and then those other 2 years still should be pretty good. And then you can figure it out from there if you want to just drop him or if he's still doing good for you. Keep it going.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe I just think you guys sign Adames and forget all the trades. I think you just get it done, but we'll see what that happens.
The more and more I keep reading about stuff, I don't know if I'm just getting my hopes up, but he does have a draft pitch attached to him, but man, this is just a guy that you want on your team. So I really do hope they sign Adames, but
he just changes the culture in the clubhouse. Like he's just that kind of guy.
Adames way better than Ha-Seong Kim, but still, I would whatever. We'll see. Come on, Willie.
All right. Well, let me go with my last guy, who again another pitching guy. I don't know if he's on the market. I doubt it. I think he's in his last year, but this team trades everybody. Team, and they're never on the bad end of a deal. Sometimes they either draw or they're just like really, really good. So the Rays. I think Peter Fairbanks is another bona fide closer, and if you want to go for a closer, there's another guy you can get, and he solidifies that back end for sure. Especially again if you miss out on trying in another guys. But yeah, he'd probably be very pricey. But there's also that relationship that Freeman has, his connection to the Rays. So who knows, man? Maybe they make a deal. They did one just last year for Glasnow. So
right. And I haven't checked on Pepio's numbers, but I think he's like their guy right now. I think
he was pretty solid.
Yeah, so you got to understand if you leave a good taste in their mouth. I feel like the Dodgers trade away guys and they're highly touted dudes and they never end up being shit. Like they're like the kings of that, which is kind of funny. They're always noticed as like they're the top, like the golden standard in like in farm systems. But in the last 5 years, they haven't really produced. And I think the Giants have produced better players in the last 5 years that are up right now than the Dodgers. Is that dumb to say? Is that controversial to say? Is it nothing to say? I don't know. I don't want to make too much of myself. But think about it. I mean, when you got Pages, Outman, who keeps getting sent back to AAA, Gavin Stone. Gavin Stone's been great.
Good. Yeah. Bobby Miller hasn't been too good. He's been up and down too. So
right.
I mean, you may not be wrong in these last couple of years.
Ramos, Tyler Fitzgerald, Hayden Birdsong, best closer in baseball, Ryan Walker. Yeah, I said it. Kyle Harrison. I'm wearing the Kyle Harrison shirt. Should have thought of him first, but come on.
Yeah, but these guys were just okay for a while and then went back to crap.
Who?
I don't know. Most of those guys, I don't know. I'm just
what? You're out of line.
Well, Fitzgerald fizzled out.
I'm sure they've gotten more opportunities because they're on the Giants versus the Dodgers. But I'm just saying the Giants have been known as like we have the worst farm system ever. Oh, the Dodgers have the best farm system ever. But it's like if you look at it, at least in the last 5 years, they haven't really produced shit. And I feel like a lot of their trades, they don't really work out. I mean, yeah, you could cherry pick the Yordan Alvarez, but that's pretty far gone. But it seems like when they trade for their big fish, the guys don't mean shit. I mean, Vargas was supposed to be the man, and he hasn't done shit in Chicago.
The guy that we traded for Flaherty looks pretty good. The young catcher, but we'll see. He's still young, but
even the guys they traded to the Nationals, that's not true. Josiah Gray has been very good. He just had surgery.
But Ruiz has been pretty good.
No, he is not. I looked up his numbers. He sucks. He freaking sucks. I literally thought that. I was like, no, Ruiz is pretty good. I forgot about Josiah Gray, and I shouldn't have because Josiah Gray is my guy. But Ruiz is just trash. I was like, am I stupid? I kind of did a little bit of like, I looked through the rosters and kind of looked and tried to remember, but yeah.
If you go even further back to the Mookie Betts trade, you traded away Connor Wong, who has been okay. He's been good. You traded away Alex Verdugo, who's, I guess
he was the headliner of that trade, and it was not what they expected, I think.
Anyway, you hear me?
There we go. We got him back. A little technical difficulties, y'all. Sorry, but yes.
Where was
Verdugo?
Oh yeah, Verdugo. So you gave away one average good player and two guys that are one that's not even around anymore, and the other one that's just good, okay. So it kind of seems.
My argument was always that was actually a good trade for both sides because it was only 1 year of Mookie, so you knew you were going to re-sign him. So to get back Alex Verdugo, who when he did go there, I think he was an all-star 1 year. So I was like, hey, you got a solid player, but he ended up being shit. So yeah, Dodgers win again, whatever. But exactly, it proves my point though.
I think he was salty about that, man. Ever since he was traded, he was really salty, and so he didn't even recognize the 60-game chip and all that. So pretty fitting that he was the last out.
Okay, damn. You have to go in on him like that. He's dead already.
Don't see his name.
Damn. All right, the Grim Reaper over here. Dave, out of all these trade ideas, I want you to pick who is the most likely trade that I mentioned. Who do you think is coming to the orange and black?
Well, you have to repeat them again. Give me the list.
So again. I had Bichette, Montgomery, Correa, Yandy Diaz, Sandy Alcantara.
The most likeliest, Yandy Diaz.
Okay, I still like it. It's a good trade, but whatever.
I think, yeah. But
you can't give me Correa. Just give me Correa, dude.
Oh, but I was about to say that's a close second. Like I could see them both being like equally.
Because they want to get rid of payroll.
Exactly. So like I could see them both work. I just think Adames is more fitting, and you just give him money as opposed to like trading away assets. Yeah, so it's better for you. That's why I think you get the other guy instead.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I think I was just so excited for Correa when we signed Correa, and the fact that when they went to the Mets and then they fell out, and then it was still a possibility. Like I've had my my little man crush on Carlos Correa because he also gets you guys so booty clinched.
Yeah, when I heard it, I was like, "Fuck, dude!" I'm like, any other team. But like now I hate him even more. Like no, because at the time I'm like, fuck it, just bring him to our team. We need somebody who's a fucking like somebody who does that, who's fiery, who fires people up, and just the way he is, his attitude. Nobody wanted him, obviously, after what happened in 17. So right. I was on an island by myself, but I'm like, then he goes to you guys. I'm like, oh, freaking great. Now we can hate him even more. Great.
Yeah. But yeah, it'd be a good time. And to go back to you, I honestly, I think I really like the Ryan Hosley trade for you guys. I think that you guys definitely need some relief help, and I think he's not going to cost as much as a Devin Williams. But knowing how the Dodgers have been operating lately, I feel like they are going to get Devin Williams. But I'll give you Hosley.
I'd be happy with any of those options. So
yeah. All right. Well, we got another list. We got another list. I think we got time and we can run through this and have a good time about it. Baseball movies are, there's so many great baseball movies. I think this is the time to kind of talk about it. Slow part. I mean, hopefully in the next coming weeks, we're going to be having more. Oh, this guy signed this. What does this mean? What does that mean? But for now, maybe we should talk movies. And we're going to go top 5 favorite baseball movies. I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. I think in a way, I think this movie's a little overrated, but I think it still cracks my my top 5, and it's The Sandlot.
You think it's overrated?
A little bit. Because everyone thinks it's the best, and I don't think it's up there. I think there's definitely 4.
What's wrong with it? Why is it not the best?
Nothing. No. Not that it's something is wrong with it. I just think that there's better movies than that.
I guess. I mean, it's very nostalgic. It's very like,
right.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I love that movie. So
and he's a Dodger. So
yeah,
he steals on the Giants at the end. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, that's your number 5.
That's number 5.
Okay.
So we can skim over it because I know it's in your 5. So we can just skim over it. Let's go to your 5, and I know you're going to have Sandlot probably higher up. So.
Yeah, so we'll have to skip that one when we get up there. But my number 5 is this movie just cracks me up every time I see it. Like if it's on TV, I have to watch it. The Bench Warmers. It's just 3 dudes playing baseball against a team of, another little league team, but it's just hilarious.
Probably one of the most underrated baseball movies of all time is probably The Bench Warmers.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll kill your family. There's so many good lines in that movie. Yeah, it's good. I love. That's a good one.
All right, so we both agree that's a good movie. All right, cool.
That's a good one.
Let's hear your number 4. I'm pretty disappointed on your number 5. At least a placement, but all right, whatever.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't know. I am a huge fan of the old Bad News Bears, and yeah, I mean. I don't know. I don't know what else. I'm not sure how we're supposed to break it down, but it's just great. It's a good ass movie. It's like one of the movies you could still watch that was made in like the 70s that is still like good now and not super cheesy or weird.
Okay.
Spitball. Come on now. Even honestly, the new one. I mean, the new one is still good. I think it, but I think the old one is definitely better.
I don't know, man. I don't. All right. I mean,
You
I'd put
don't
it.
like it at all?
It's not on my list at all.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't. I don't even know if it's on my top 10. Everybody loves that movie, but I don't know.
it's a good one. I like it.
All right, all right. Let me give you my number 4.
Okay.
42.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good one.
and probably other people have it much higher, but the other ones I have personally, I like more, obviously.
Right.
But this is such a good movie, and yeah, the late oh my god, I'm forgetting the name. The actor.
You're forgetting Jackie Robinson's name?
No. The actor.
Jackie
Ted Boswick. Yeah, who passed away. Who played Jackie Robinson?
Oh man, that would be an ultimate clip that you forgot Jackie Robinson's name. That'd be great. Oh man.
Oh no.
No, yeah, Chadwick Boseman for sure. Yes, I think you see him more. He was like the biopic guy for a long time. He did 42, and then was James Brown. But I mean, once he became Black Panther, I don't think anyone cared
Yeah.
about anything else.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's a good movie. Great movie.
Good flick. That's a good one. Solid.
And a little bit better if you're a Dodger fan. You enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. Man, this movie will make you cry even when you're 12 years old. I think it was probably when I first watched this movie because it's R.I.P.G. baby. We're going hardball. I like it when you call me Big Papa. It's just so many. This is probably, in my opinion, the most underrated baseball because I never see it on any list, which makes me upset. But I don't know. Maybe it makes me like it even more. Maybe it's, shot up my list more just because I feel like it's underrated. But come on, hardball, a young Michael B. Jordan. Come on.
Keanu Reeves. I mean, it's definitely my top 10, dude. It's such a good movie, and
Yes.
It's really underrated. Not a lot of people have seen it, but
Yeah.
it's so good. So
if you don't cry when G Baby dies, then you have no heart.
It was such a shocker because I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's a baseball movie. They're gonna go through crap or whatever, but it'll be cool. And then the kid dies. I'm like, what just happened?
Why? Wow.
Why?
Come on, go into the ship. There's so many good parts in that movie. Good movie.
All right. So my number 3, it's been clipped so much. It's they make videos on when somebody gets a big hit now all the time, which the joke kind of sucks now, but Moneyball, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love
that's really high up there.
I love that side of it. Like, I also like that movie Draft Day to an extent, just because it was the back, like you could see how they supposedly make trades. It was awful, but like I liked how they did it, but it was awful. But the same thing with Moneyball. You just saw the other side of the game, and it was really, really interesting.
I know there's a lot of new criticism of Moneyball because it feels like it's very representative of what actually happened because they don't even mention like their big three, their big starting three, and all that kind of stuff. Does that affect the way you like it, or just like, hey, dude, it's just a movie, dude, I don't care?
No, because
you're able to separate it.
I can separate it. I can separate the art a little bit. Yeah, I just like, I don't know. I've never seen that side of baseball, so I just liked it.
Yeah,
that and
it's definitely a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't even think it would crack my top 10 though, Money. But it is good. I watch it pretty often.
I mean, it's not even like it's a happy ending either. It was like, so I like that too. Like they didn't win the World Series magically. So
they didn't win the World Series. Billy Beane didn't sign his big deal. Like nothing good happened.
Like they were just like, no, this is what happened. This is it.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Number 2 for me, this is just the classic League of Their Own. Man, I think it's just perfection. There's so many good moments in it, so many good lines in it for like life, but so many good funny moments in it when the scout's disgusted by the ugly chick, and he had to kind of keep looking at her. Like I remember reminding that part, like back when you had to actually like rewind shit like on a on a VHS when I was young. Yeah, good times. That's it's a good freaking movie, dude.
That
And
is
and then Madonna's kind of a hoe too, so that's you just figuring yourself out at 12 years old. Who knows? Is that a part of it? I don't know if that's a part of it. You tell me.
We back?
We are back.
Okay.
I was just talking about how Madonna was honing it up and makes you feel things when you're 12 years old. Who knows? Maybe that's part of it.
Maybe, but that's such a small part of the movie. I think for number 2, that's way too high. But
there's so many good parts in it, so many good lines in it. And talk about baseball being hard. Well, that's what makes it good. If it was easy, everyone would do. Come on.
I only know that movie as there's no crying in baseball. That's it.
Yeah, that's another good one.
That's it.
Gosh. There's so many good lines.
All right,
you need to rewatch it. That's what you need to do.
Question Moneyball. I question this one.
Okay.
We move on. My number 2 is Major League. And how can you go wrong with it being number 1 or 2? Like, this movie is hilarious. It's the greatest underdog story. And, the game that we love, the hecklers out there in the outfield, so funny. Like, there's so many parts of this movie that are just hilarious.
Joe Boo's rum, the freaking the you get back in there, Vaughn. So many. There's just, and that's my number 1. So we can just stay on here for a little bit.
And when he thinks he gets cut, and he's like, "Oh crap, I got cut," and he jumps over, barefoot and still wins the race. Like, all these little parts, just hilarious.
Yeah. You telling me Jesus Christ can't throw a curveball or can't hit a curveball? Come on.
And then all the stuff.
Everyone used the Roger when Buster Posey got announced as baseball operations. Everyone posted the meme that was like, "I activated myself," the Roger Dorn thing. So you can even go. I mean, Major League 1, 2, and even the Back to the Minors is a good movie too. So, I mean, I think just the whole Major League franchise is just number 1 for me.
I wish Charlie Sheen had kept going doing these kind of movies, because he did Hot Shots. Remember that one?
No.
Hot Shots part some, I don't know, where he was like an army dude, but it was all funny like that. It was like over the top funny. Yeah. But I would have watched all of them. It was a good. The second one was not as good as the first one for Major League, but
of course, but it's still really good.
Yeah,
they changed Willie Mays Hayes, but he's in the movie.
Yeah.
Come on, it was good.
All right, well, I guess I'll just say my number 1, but obviously we don't have to talk about it. It's The Sandlot. So,
what's so good about The Sandlot?
What do you mean? Like, all the memories you can play with your friends out in the field or like whatever.
Yeah,
all those memories. And then as you get older, you start like reliving them even more. So it's very nostalgic, I think. So, and it's baseball.
Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah. I feel like it's overrated, but still in my top 5. It's number 5, but it's still in my top 5.
All right. Okay,
if we're not going to go.
The consensus is that Major League is number 1, though, right?
I think Major League is number 1 for sure, hands down. That is the best baseball movie of the baseball. I think just that whole franchise you can just put as just the best baseball movie of all time.
Yeah, I could easily change it for Sandlot. Like, those two are so good to me. I could change it. Yeah.
I mean, there's honorable mentions too. I mean, you gotta love Angels in the Outfield. I'm not sure if basketball counts as a baseball movie because it's a whole nother sport, but baseball's in it. So that's a good movie.
Rookie of the Year.
Rosenhagen. Yeah. One thing I did want to mention that I think is just Field of Dreams is just the most overrated baseball movie of all time. Like, everyone mentions that like it's like so cinema.
You just very casually were like, let me just drop this bomb on everybody.
I'm sorry it's just not that good, especially because how ridiculous is it? The main gripe I have with Field of Dreams is the fact that they couldn't think of anything, like that the doctor had to save the daughter from getting choking on a freaking hot dog, but not even just choking on a hot dog, but how did you get the hot dog lodged in there? Because Uncle was like, "Hey, you don't say that." Like, what are we doing here? She could have. It would like the uncle didn't have to be involved at all. It could have just been out of nowhere. She's choking on something, and that would have been way better than the uncle just being like, "Don't, you need to sell the farm, Ray. Let me shake your daughter," and then she chokes. Like, I don't know that I just can't get over that.
I think you're nitpicking, man.
But am I though? Like, I just feel like I don't know. It's the most overrated baseball movie of all time.
When's the last time you saw it?
Last time I don't know, probably like at least 5 years ago.
Okay, so you're a dad. I implore you to try to watch it again. I watched it again. I felt the same way. I'm like, this movie's boring to me. I really don't see the hype. And then I watched it again, and I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, all right, I see the appeal. I see why.
The movie's chocolate. I've seen the movie, Peter. All right. But no, I understand what you're saying. I get it. I
think you'll get over that nitpick when you see it again.
I get it. Just the same way, like you watch Tarzan after you've been a parent, and it makes you bawl. I understand. Maybe it will. Maybe it will shake something in me.
Before we go any further, can we just agree that the Tarzan music from that movie was
it goes so
fire?
Hard. It goes
hard.
super underrated Disney soundtrack. Listen to Mulan and Princess and the Frog have great soundtracks. Just
they're like, hey, Phil Collins, we just need something for this animated movie of a guy in the jungle. Like, say less. Let me go.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this. Like, there's no way that came to him. He's been sitting on that music for years.
Yeah.
And he said, now is the time. Yeah, no, you're right.
They don't make Disney movies like they used to, man. They just don't. But
yeah, I can't think. I think there's some good soundtracks. Yeah, don't get me started. We're gonna go then. Maybe that should be a list.
Best five list for next time, sure.
Best 5 Disney soundtracks of nothing to do with baseball.
Or songs from movies, because I got a couple.
Oh, I can't do that. I don't think I could pick 5. That'd be way too hard. Out of all movies of all time, I don't know.
Yeah, there you go, man. There you go. Next week we come back with a list.
Okay. We'll do something nothing to do with baseball list. That might be interesting. Well, I think next week is going to be Thanksgiving. Do you are we announcing a break from next week, or are we just going to?
I forgot. Yeah. We won't be here next week, right?
Okay, that makes sense. Yes,
we'll put some other clips up for the week, but yeah, we won't be here.
We will not be here next week. Enjoy it with your family, hang out, have a good time, and we'll be the week after. With more lists. But thank you for hanging out and listening to this list. Make sure to subscribe to us and hit those notification bells, the like, the thumbs up. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform as well as YouTube. Follow us on all your socials. Instagram, Benches Cleared Podcast. Twitter, Benches Cleared P. And TikTok, Benches Cleared. Thank you so much for listening. Dave, what do you got?
Enjoy your time with your families. Hopefully it's a good time. And we'll see you the week after. We'll be here.
Yeah, hopefully somebody signs some people. Can we do that?
Maybe Black Friday deals and they get somebody on the cheap. We'll see.
In 2 weeks. Thanks for hanging out, guys.